Welcome to Invest. We'll talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 9:20 a.m. on Eastern Time on Tuesday, by the way, Ethereum coach at $1,075, now about 1.81% so far. Respect over crypto market is relatively a mixed bag. So is the equity market as well. Across the spectrum, we are either up or down about 0.5% so far. Oil prices also dipped below 100, down 5% so far, while the 10-year yield is still kind of levitating about 2.921% so far. In respect to the recent media affectation and catalysts that we should be aware of, is one with respect to PepsiCo reported their corporate earnings yesterday. It seems like the revenue guidance and the earning report came out to be relatively positive, exceeding Wall Street expectation. Which very typical, right? Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, or other like fast food or snack company are typically more resilient in comparisons to other industries during the pandemic or during the downturn or recessionary environment. It's because like it's cheap costs and people are still going to be resorting to these type of soda and drinks, if you may. Like so is alcohol as well. If you look into the sin food industry, if you may, right? And what are some of the near-term catalysts that we should also be watching out for? Is with respect to Delta Airline, J.P. Morgan, Gap, Citibank, etc., etc. These are obviously both financial sector focused earnings and also consumer retail focused earnings, which both have direct causation and correlation effect onto the CPI report that's coming out tomorrow morning. So contingent on the guidance from the corporate companies on their outlook, like how they're depicting, their future and their earnings, going forward, will give us a good flavor in terms of what are the factors that we should also consider, onto building up our case. As we're marching towards the upcoming FOMC meeting, right? What's the likelihood that we're going to raise the interest rates? What are the likelihood that we're not going to raise the interest rates? Are we going to stay flat at 50 basis point? Or are we going to go up again 75 basis point or even higher from here? We'll see, right? And some other news that I'm also seeing, it seems like with respect to the likelihood of a rebound by August. Seems like Jim Cramer has spoken on CNBC recently, depicting that the market, based on the chart front, is poised for a rebound, which I do agree, right? So we'll dive into technicals in a bit. So in addition to that, it seems like there's a company called Canoo, which is an EV maker. It seems like the stock has been like going parabolic after Walgreens, not Walgreens, Walmart agrees to buy 4,500 electric vehicle for their delivery vans going forward, which is a sizable purchase, a sizable contract, which makes sense why it's driving a more of a short-term surge from there, right? And last news that I'm also seeing is with respect to Peloton. It seems like obviously the company has been getting killed. It seems like historically they were outsourcing the manufacturers, domestically in the U.S., but it seems like they are finding ways to, find cheaper countries to be outsourcing those parts, in part of the turnaround effort, right? But the company is relatively, frail and fragile at the moment. So I hope that the management team will pull it together, especially when this downturn at the moment. So let's just dive into technical without wasting more time. With respect to recording time of 9:23 a.m. on the Eastern Time, we are at basically 10:50 at the moment. The next level up is going to be obviously 11:50, which we tested yesterday. We broke below. The level down was going to be 10:50 all the way to 9:50, and subsequently all the way down to 7:50 from here. Right, you could see that with respect to inertia, it's quite bearish, right? You could see that we're dipping down. Also, we are looking for a curvature already on the MACD front. So ideally forming a death cross momentarily, in the near term, which makes sense. The CPI report and the FOMC meeting should drive some negativity ahead of time or afterwards, until, we get some normalization and consolidation on a new bottom. And then on a weekly and monthly perspective, it looks relatively bullish actually. That it indicates that in weeks and months out from now, we should technically see some sort of a rebound, which makes sense, right? You see that we're curving up on the MACD front, also relatively plateau on the RSI. And this is applicable to both on the monthly as well, right? You could see that is even more dramatic on the monthly front, right? Also, there's a plateau forming at the 40 out of 70 on the RSI scale on a monthly chart as well. So 750 can be a possibility, and then subsequent to that, we should see a rebound in the month of August sometimes. And with respect to Bitcoin as well, you can see that we are also forming a plateau on a monthly, and then on a weekly, we are also forming a plateau as well. Daily is obviously showing the opposite, right? We kind of have to cross down and then cross up from there. So in the near term, as we approach closely to the CPI report and the FOMC meeting, we should see some sort of a negativity going forward. And then after that, August is like a gap month, right? We don't have an FOMC meeting. We have a CPI report, but no FOMC meeting. And doesn't happen all the way until like late September, which is the next coming up FOMC meeting after the one that we'll have like for this month. So with respect to other coins, I'm also seeing comparable affectation, right? Daily is quite negative across the entire market for all of those altcoins below. But on the weekly perspective, let's just like use Solana for an example. You're looking on the weekly as well, you could see that clearly we are looking for a golden cross to be formed. We're plateauing for quite some time now on a weekly. And also on a monthly as well, you could see that we are also doing something similar, but you could see that it's a lot more dramatic. So that indicates that yes, we are going to be seeing some bullish rebound sometimes like in the near future, obviously weeks and months out from here, right? So let me know if you have questions. It's definitely going to be negative in the near term based on a technical front, but long term wise, and I'm talking about not like a super long term wise, but like months, weeks and months out from now, we should technically see a rebound from here. So that's appreciated. I definitely do, I guess, enjoy the dip coming, and as you are able to capture the dip, you should be able to generate some good return from here. Knowing the fact that we do have a month gap, so technically you could think that we might have about like 25 to 30 days of bullish pressure ahead of us as we get over this obviously negative hump that we're seeing in front of us, right? So appreciate you. Have a good day and take care.